Hi, my name is Yogi Klatt. I'm a
Hello,
gameplay
Yogi
programmer
Klatt.
in the vehicle feature team. I'm here with Rich Towler.
All right, here's your
Jet Talbot,
Nightbot did it about 3 minutes ago.
Angela
Yeah.
Yang, and today we're gonna talk to you about the upcoming
remember.
changes to the flight systems and the combat systems, which are done specifically for Squadron 42, but which will eventually find their way to the persistent universe.
Who runs the Star Citizen Twitter, do you think? Because they have two different Twitter accounts.
We want
And
to
one of
define ship roles for the game because every role in itself and every ship can offer unique gameplay
it's a Connie.
opportunities for individual players.
We want to provide a
New
lot
Connie
more variety
variant?
to the gameplay in Star Citizen, a lot more opportunity for different
Autoland?
careers,
When am I
different
streaming Star Citizen next?
different,
I don't know.
perspectives and
Tonight.
views on gameplay where people contribute different types of work and different types of jobs.
Star Citizen is supposed to be a big, expansive game with giving the players lots of chances.
Can't
to
wait
have
till
a
we get
variety of
new
different
types of
experiences.
bombs for
It's
the
not just
A2.
about combat, it's not just about economy, it's not just
Nerfed,
about
man.
piracy,
Like,
it's
holy
about all of
crap.
those things happening at the same time. So we need ships that can act and function in
kinda
different
ridiculous.
ways to support all of
What
these
the
different
hell?
goals.
That's the
In
mole?
trying
Argo
to
mole?
figure out these
Yeah.
roles and define what they are
looks
and
cool. I
make
don't
the
ever see
gameplay
it.
The
forward,
mole
we
is a really
started
cool
very
ship.
heavily leaning towards
I like the
combat,
thruster shape.
mostly
in the
because
way that does
combat
that thing.
is a mechanic that
Oh,
is
this
very
is important.
widely applicable
looks
throughout
really
the
nice.
game, and the principles behind it apply to various other roles in the game.
We've been working away in the S42 branch. And this
Question:
is
Are
really
the
allowed us to
emotes
isolate these
Twitch
ships,
only,
so we've
or
kind of
are they
broken it
able to
down
work
into
on YouTube? They
archetypes,
are
which
able to
really
work
allows
on
us to kind of
YouTube.
break
They are
down
available
what
on
these
both
ships do. And also it's to make
on
sure
both
that
YouTube
when we are
for
defining these
channel
roles and
members
balancing these
and
roles,
on
that
Twitch
we're
for
putting the ships in
Twitch
the right place,
subscribers.
because we don't want the ships to be like, you play this ship, it means you dominate this part of the game. That there's always got to be plus and minuses so the balance is right. So there's still some crossover between the ships.
Currently,
So just
there's
picking
only
one type
4
of ship
emotes, but I think if I
isn't just a win.
get,
We have already defined
I think I only
several
need one
ship
more
roles, and
channel
they're
member to
usually known
upload
as
another
light,
4.
medium, and heavy fighters. Light fighters for us are fighters which are
YouTube's
very dominant in the area of 1 versus 1 PvP combat.
But they come with a downside, because obviously the light, which means the materials chosen on the ship, are probably not the strongest. So it's more about the attack. It's more about trying to outposition and get in there and attack and get out of the situation.
Heavy fighters are kind of the opposite. They're not supposed to be really good at 1 versus 1, but they excel at N versus N engagements. So when we have group battles. Medium fighters for us generally we call multi-role fighters because
5.
they have a lot of hard points, so they have a lot of loadout flexibility. So a player can tune them to the role whatever
Yeah,
they
if
want,
you'd like
but they
to
will
join
never
the
reach
YouTube membership,
performance
just
of
hit the join
dedicated
button
ships.
down
A lot of medium
next to
fighters
the
sometimes come with a turret as well. So they've got
subscribe
that additional
button.
gameplay of the turret, which
You also get
is aimed to kind of
early
counter the lack
access
of visibility that
to
those ships have.
And
videos
then
when they
additionally
come
to
up
that,
on my
we have
channel, as
racing
well
ships, which are
as
basically just really fast at changing
a
the
special little
velocity,
badge
vectors,
in
and
in
interceptors,
stream chat.
which we basically just want to go
Ooh, that was
very
the
fast
snake
in
pit
the forward
racetrack,
area,
right?
but never reaching really the performance envelope of dedicated dogfighters.
Interceptors are designed to kind of catch up to ships and disable them. So they come with kind of advanced kind of hardware on these ships.
Bombers, on the other hand, are well, they're just slobbing heavy ordnance at larger targets, so you use them to take out bigger ships. But they're not really good at.
I did,
hitting small
Brick. I
fighters.
finished playing
and
it
then
off
from smaller
stream.
ships coming to larger ships like
enjoyed it.
Constellation and up, we want to change the gameplay to be less about positional combat, but more going into the naval style of combat, where it's important to show the correct shield and fire arcs and timing your shots over long distances.
So the purpose of ship roles is to really help players understand what ships should be used and when they should be used. And it's really about delivering on those kind of gameplay promises that we've been talking about, over the past.
So
are
are they gonna
Every ship
update
is the
weapons
same,
to make
it's
them
not fun.
give
But
them longer
if we
range
have
or something
dedicated
like
ships
that?
with dedicated pros and cons, then we can create very exciting combat environments.
Are we
And the
unsubscribed
biggest
on here? I
challenge
don't
we
know.
see in order to get that gameplay we want is the current speed that we have in combat.
It's a subject we've talked about many, many times in the past. And it's something we've tried many things with.
You have to allow
We've tried
gifts?
limiting things at speed. We've tried adjusting handling at speed.
Bro,
we've
if I
tried
didn't have
so
gifts
many
allowed,
things
I
to
didn't
kind
get
of
it.
manage
Saban,
negative
dude,
impact of
thank you
speed
so
on
much for the
When
10
ships are going
gifted
fast in
channel
combat,
memberships.
They usually just end up
Holy
very far
crap.
behind, which is not very interesting, and it just devolves into
Oh, we got-
jousting very quickly.
Thanks,
which is
Saban.
also not very interesting.
the second you create a longer distance between you and the target, your angular requirements to maneuver to that target are just extremely small. And this is a very obvious
thank you so
math
much.
reason why high-speed combat is
I'm
kinda
gonna be
the opposite
hearing
of
alerts
what
for
we
a
want to
while, aren't
achieve,
I?
meaning meaningful and effective positional maneuvering.
We want the combat to be closer and to be more turn-oriented. So rotations should matter more than just flat speed.
Are the
Programming
alerts done?
very
Are we good? Are we
high
good? Okay.
speeds that are pretty much the same between all ship classes negates a lot of the opportunity for smaller ships to flex different types of gameplay.
Another big issue with the speeds in combat is it's very hard to keep players engaged in the combat because players can move so far so quickly in such a short space of time. It's quite hard to keep a track on your opponent.
So you might think, oh, why don't we just make the ship slower and call it a day? Well, we can't do that.
The main reason we can't just make everything slower is the size of the Star Citizen world. We've got huge planets where we need to go from the planet surface up into space.
If you made the ship slower, nobody would ever be able to get
essentially,
anywhere.
You can't have just
like,
Because it takes so long to
There's
go
a massive
places.
universe out there to explore. There's planets to explore. And the
takes, like,
feelings we
literally
want to capture
65
with speed,
hours
we
to
still
get
want
from a
element of
planet to
danger,
Oh my
like, you
gosh.
still go too fast.
Gifted 10,
in
but
lots
only
of
saw 7
situations.
notifications.
tried an awful
Yeah, I
lot,
wonder if
over
OBS
the past
was
few
just like,
years with
okay, that's enough
what are
notifications.
called soft
We're
speed
done.
caps, where there is no speed cap on ships, but we encourage gameplay to occur at a lower speed. But it doesn't really work because the advantages of flying
Swear you followed me
fast
last
in
time I
terms
collabed
of
with Index.
defense is just better.
So since the
Oh.
last year, the focus of Vehicle Feature Team shifted very heavily.
Maybe
towards
not.
Squadron
Speaking
42
of- oh,
and
there's
nailing down
more
flight and
notifications.
Space combat experience for it. And I'm very proud to say that we finally found a really good working solution.
Speaking of
that we're gonna
Index,
show today.
Index is
Curious.
the one who
So the
did
main
my
idea is to simply not
lovely
have
emotes.
combat and long-range travel at the same time. So we're splitting.
All right,
these
here's
gameplay
the master
experiences. This will be
modes.
done by a thing which is called master modes. A master mode is a thing that is globally applied to your ship, and we have two of them. We have SCM, which is now relabeled as standard control mode, and QCM or QM for quantum mode.
The idea is that between these two modes, we can constrain the speeds in combat and also get all of the maneuvering, like high speed maneuvering and traversal mechanics that we had before, but in these distinct modes that are integrated with lore and integrated with the ship functions, such that there's costs and payoffs for being in each of the two modes.
So let's start with standard control mode and what this means. So this is the mode that we intend to be the functional mode of the ship, whether it's combat or mining or any of these kind of core kind of things the ship does. We want the player to do these things in this mode. And what this does is it reduces the speed of the ship, but it also enables the shield to be turned on. And obviously the intent behind this is where you do your combat. It's where the guns are on, the missiles can be armed and fired, and all the kind of operational things the ship does operates within this mode.
The speeds that you can reach in SCM are somewhat limited, somewhere between 200 and 300 meters per second, tuning pending. But this is basically the hard cap, which you cannot not really exceed. You can slightly exceed this by using a boost, but you cannot maintain any velocity beyond that SCM limit for a longer period of time.
So we're thinking of this as some kind of energy management system, so you can go a little bit faster with a little bit more accelerations when you need to, but you know that it is a limited
So
resource,
are they gonna
and you should use it carefully.
let
Specifically,
you?
the boost space is interesting for space combat because
Are they gonna up
that boost
the
space is not spheric as
speed
it was
of things?
before. You can boost
the
the
way?
fastest if you're going forward on a straight line, and you have a lot of debuffs when you're trying
it
to
again?
boost backwards. That alone gets us a lot of interesting maneuvering space and variation in the day-to-day dogfight maneuvering, so to speak.
Importantly, you don't have your
curious-
quantum drive available in this mode. The
'Cause with
idea
the
is
racing,
that quantum is
like
restrained
illegal
to
racing
the
where you have
quantum
guns?
traversal mode.
The second mode is
I wonder
quantum
how that'll
control
affect
mode,
it.
or QCM or QM. What this mode does is it unlocks your maximum velocity that your ship can reach. So when you were limited
What?
before to 200 to 300
so it
meters
takes
per
your
second, now you can
your
go
shields
to
off
1200,
and
1400
your
meters per
weapons
second, whatever
down,
your ship allows.
but you can go
During the
faster.
development of the
Oh,
quantum mode, we realized we needed
interesting.
something that was a little bit more kind
Because
of
that's going to discourage
about
people from
traveling
just running.
large distances, but not the distances
Interesting.
that you need to speed of
So you can either go. So you can either go really fast.
which is available in the quantum mode, and you can access it at any point. So at any point you want
What do you
to
say
kind
that
of
was?
boost towards your location that you're kind of looking at, but it's just too far away. And this boost is available for a limited amount of time, and it's purely on a straight line.
Just to give you like a ballpark, quantum boost will allow you
So
to go
very
to a
short
target
range
fast if it's
quantum
within,
jumps.
let's say,
That's
50,000
really
kilometers, whereas you will
cool.
use quantum
No, this
travel
is
to do
quantum boost.
very long range
Quantum
jumps between
travel's different.
planets. So quantum mode allows you to go very, very fast with up to like 1200,
It's like
1400 meters per second
Super
when you want to zip
Cruise
really fast
and
over a
really
planet.
dangerous.
It also allows you to do quantum
So you have to
boost
allow
quickly go
gifts to be
between
given
points
to you.
of
Oh,
interest,
that's
which are
weird.
rather close to
Yeah,
you.
it was funky.
And it allows you to travel long distances between planets and
Chip personalization is
large
very
scales
much
that are
needed.
objects.
Yes, it
But it comes
is.
at a cost. Your capacitor systems are non-functional because they interfere with the quantum bubble that is allowing you to go
YouTube
fast.
is definitely behind
You won't
Twitch
have shields.
for
Your shields will collapse right
users,
away
but
when you
for
when you
creators,
swap into quantum
YouTube
mode.
is
Your weapons
much better
will
than
stop
Twitch.
working because anything that's firing outwards of your ship will disintegrate the quantum bubble. Your countermeasures won't
So I'm
work,
curious
and you will also
why
not be able to use
quantum
thrusters. So
mode
basically, all your
turns off
capacitor
your-
and combat-related systems are turned off instantly.
why
When you switch between modes,
Why
there'll
you
be a little
can't-
period of time where
because
everything has to
quantum
spool
mode you
up
can
and
unlock
change.
speed.
So you will lose your shields during this. You won't have your weapons during this, but you also won't
But
be going
why
fast.
why do you
so
have to
there's
have a
a
quantum
risk
field to
reward
be able to go
element
that
when you need to switch modes.
So
Be
so
very
one
kind of
so
conscious
one mode
choice
is
of what mode you
for
should be in
go
at any
fast
particular
and
point.
one
So
mode
if
is
you feel the
for
threat
Fighting.
of another
Fighting.
someone that's close by, you're not
Yeah,
quite sure what
but
the situation is.
at the same
Maybe
time, because they were
switch
talking, I get it for the
standard
quantum
safe,
boost.
or you can switch
Why it
to
would shut
quantum
off
mode and
your-
escape. And this is going to kind of bring in an element of danger and an element of risk.
Because going
I think
through
it-
two different modes is
I think it
like a
is to
systemic
discourage
thing within the
running
ship's
away.
islands.
I
We
wonder
actually
if
have the
it will
opportunity
turn
now to
off
define ship
your
roles that can
ability
block
to
people
fire
from escaping, either using devices that suppress the
countermeasures.
quantum bubble or devices
I don't
that
know.
can effectively interfere
Because
with
if
your
it
ability
does,
to
that's going
transfer
to make
between
missiles
modes.
really good.
For example, specific ships like interceptors can be tuned such that they have a higher standard control mode speed, so they're able to catch up with people.
Oh,
Or, for example,
interesting.
make the swap between the modes faster and more efficiently, so that they could catch up
did he
with
say?
you. Go into
So
standard
he
control mode and
says
attack you
that,
more effectively as per the properties of
interceptor
their
ships?
ship versus another ship, which might not be as good.
It
at
swaps
doing something
faster?
like that.
It's something that's fundamental.
Yeah, they swap faster,
Change
and when
the
they're
gameplay
in
experience for
the
And this is working now.
like combat mode, they have
we're
a
playing
higher
every day
speed
in
than
the
other
studio,
ships.
We're refining it, we're tweaking bits here and there.
So that's
we're at that
interesting.
stage now where we're tweaking and balancing.
In combat mode
but
even.
the core features, it's
Yeah.
there in the gameplay.
I wonder how that's going to
and
be for
the
racing
difference
ships.
it's made on the game for us is
For
They
combat
said-
mode.
basically
They
night
said
and
for
day.
racing
similar
ships you can
speeds are
turn
limited
faster and
in
you speed up
standard
quicker.
control mode.
That's
Suddenly,
true. They did say,
fights
yeah,
are a lot
acceleration
closer.
and
the accelerations of ships
Yeah.
similarly have been retuned a little bit, and their
just,
afterburner strength
maneuverability.
has been retuned a little bit to make it so that you can orbit around ships and have a lot more interesting
I wonder if
maneuvering.
the people end up
And
racing
because
in
the ranges
quantum
are
mode,
closer. Maneuvers that would be
over,
performed by your ship have a
combat
much
mode.
more significant impact because you're closer. So
Oh.
if I like
Interesting.
thrust up or down, you'll immediately
Maybe
see
in
the
like
difference.
longer
So
distance
similarly,
races.
things like capital ships
Well, it's just-
Yeah.
effectively
shorter
get a
distance
buff to
ones.
their offensive capabilities with
anytime
this
you're
change.
doing...
So
Because
it
suddenly you
looks like
can't
they
orbit a
are
capital
trying
ship
to
at
make
high range and high
dogfighting
speeds.
better,
You have to get a lot closer, which will
Yes,
make
which is
the
going to be
turrets
nice.
which is yeah,
much more
it's
effective
definitely
as you-
nice. I like that.
turrets become
We need a
more
Top Gun
important,
Maverick style
and
Valley
working as a
mission.
group to attack
Heck
capital
yeah.
ships is more important than it has
That
been.
sounds
Dude, imagine it,
awesome.
you're like the steak pit or something like that.
Yeah.
This is a really exciting change because it allows us to keep.
We
the
should
combat
do
speeds
something when
relatively
where we
low,
just like go to
where
Snake
we
Pit and
know
have
that the
like one
gameplay's
person
better
try
for that,
to
while also
drive
keeping
around
the
it while like
point-to-point travel
20
speeds
people
as
just
high
shoot
as
at them
they
with
should be.
railguns or something like that.
Playing with Master
It's just
Mode
like
in
different
42 has been a lot of fun.
spots in the
Synchronized
track and
changing
see
the entire
how long they
combat
can go
experience.
before they die.
Before you'd find
Yeah.
that you were fighting.
I
at
think
a
that would be
huge
really
distance.
funny.
Now you find that you're in really tight, close combat with the other players.
You look at
I think
competition
The biggest
based on like how
part
long
of
people can
this is going
survive.
to be
Yeah.
when we have
you
the
have-
larger
but while
ships
following the race
interacting
rules.
with the smaller ships. Once we can have battles with big capital ships
Or
and
like who
smaller
can get
ships,
the best
Bingo!
to the Star Citizen world that I don't think has come out before.
Dude, I forget how damn big the Bengal is, dude.
It's
It
so
Having made these
big.
changes to implement master
It's
mode
so
and
big.
rebalancing all of the ship speeds, we'll finally be able to define ship roles in the way that we've always wanted,
It's like
and to
Xenothreat.
bring a lot more variety to the
Xenothreat,
gameplay that
but
we
with a
haven't had
Bengal?
before.
So it's been a
That would
really
be
long
really
journey,
cool.
obviously, 'cause
The
you've been a
Gauntlet
part of this
Run
journey.
live stream.
You know, we've tried many different
Yeah, that'd
I
be
things
funny.
at the time to try
that
and
would be
really
do like a
experience.
giveaway with it,
But,
whoever wins.
You know, the reality is from us, it
Yeah.
came down
As a
to
reward.
you know,
You can even partner with XGR and maybe get a bigger
It's about giving players
With
an
what?
option and their choices have
Extreme G
consequences.
Racing.
You know,
They're
so with
like
Master
the
Modes,
largest
it really helps
racing
define
community on Star Citizen right now.
the player choice in the game.
They regularly get like
So they're
hundreds of
choosing to do
viewers
combat,
on
they're choosing to travel
on
from
their
combat to
races,
console.
their main ones.
They're choosing to queue
But they did have
Just
like
giving players
right
that
now. I
freedom
think they're
with
It's-
streaming.
It's all just
Like,
it's all
really
just
massive
you with
thing.
alt accounts.
We tried many times to control that.
Nah,
Because
but
as we
it's
know,
crazy.
you're the only
Designers are trying
person
to
that
get a
cares about
specific
racing.
experience at some point.
That's true.
Oh,
Like,
that
I'm
is
actually
You always
gorgeous.
end up
Look at that
back to back.
terrain.
Let's
That's
just
pyro
give the
terrain.
players the choice and let
Is
them
that
make
Pyro
decisions.
3?
Wheels and the balance around them.
I forgot.
We finally have.
Yeah, I
it.
forgot which is
we're,
which.
We're now nailing down the space combat experience for Star Citizen, specifically for Squadron 42. We know from internal playtest that the master mode stuff works. We know that it works with our flight retunings, and it's very exciting. It will yet take a while to ship this to the PU because the amount of ships you fly in Squadron 42 is rather limited, whereas in Star Citizen we have about, I don't know, more than 100 ship records at the moment. But
Okay.
the whole hard problem of designing this thing in the first place is over. We just need to get the numbers in now.
So it's
And
a
also
so it's a
what you see
squadron
today is
thing
Squadron,
that they're
it's
bringing
all currently playable in
into
the game that, you
the
know, it's out
PU.
there, we're playing this every
So
day.
they
We're
probably-
still making some tweaks, but
It's
everything is
probably
there right now.
functional on
It's
the
all about
Gladius
foundation
right now.
tweaks that we're making.
I'm
But
glad
we
I
can't
saw
wait to
Gladius.
get it good.
Gladius
thanks
and
a lot
maybe a Hornet.
for listening to us today. We're
That's true.
very excited to get the changes to you as soon as possible.
Dude, I hope
And yeah,
they update
hope
the
to see
Hornet.
you
I wonder if they've been
fighting
working on the
in reverse.
Hornet for
Maybe it needs an update.
22.
It's
I
such
wonder
a
if it's, like,
such a
updated.
cool ship, but it kind of sucks right now.
So,
Especially the Super Hornet. The Super Hornet is
out of everything
awful.
here,
It's so
we've
bad.
got all the
Well,
chips
just like the
on
way
Nick's.
that the
Love
MFDs
my
don't match up with
Lando
the
Fury.
actual.
Yeah.
What do you got, Brian?
Is that John Cruz?
Who is most likely to win in a dogfight?
Okay.
An Ort win.
Ortwin. Shout out to
What the hell's
Ortwin. It's been a long time.
Hey, Ort win.
My one is
Persian?
my cargo hold is always full of Chris Roberts.
Really?
Okay, I want a Star Citizen Cards Against Humanity.
That's Vandal Against Humanity, a
Oh,
game
Vandal
created by
Against
one of
Humanity.
our own Star
Oh
Citizen.
my!
Van Duel against humanity.
Shadow. We still got it.
That's
it made
funny.
it to the UK.